This video is going to cover some reading and note-taking strategies for when you're doing your research. So first off, I want to say that the most important thing to keep in mind when reading your sources is to keep your thesis and purpose at the forefront of your mind. All right, you're looking for information that will help you with your thesis, not necessarily on your topic. So what I mean by that is keep this template in mind for what I'm giving you to create a thesis. Um, I am working on the topic of blank because I want to find out blank so that I can help others understand blank. So you're not looking for sources just to help you with your topic, but ideally you're looking for sources that will help you answer this question or your significance in addition to being related to your topic. So try to aim for 2 out of these 3 when looking for a good source. Next, I want to point out that you're probably discovering research takes a lot of reading. So to help you narrow down your reading list and the time you're spending reading, focus on these points. Look for sources that have a similar purpose statement to your thesis. Focus on sources that will help you address one of the points in your outline. That is especially helpful for Research Essay 1. For Research Essay 2, you can create a little working outline before doing your research if that helps you think about what areas of the paper you need to be finding information for or what type of information you need to look for. Third, if you're looking at a book, glance at chapter titles, headings, table of contents to see if any sections of that book might be helpful for you. If you're looking at an article, articles often will have headers in them. There'll even be abstracts that summarize what the article is about. And for any article, read the introduction and conclusion first to determine if the information is relevant for you. And then lastly, realize you never have to read the whole source. A lot of students feel obliged if they're reading an article to read through the whole thing, but that's not often the case with academic writing. You can often skip certain sections of such as the methods and results sections. All right, so a few note-taking tips. Look for information related to your outline. Guard against plagiarism. If you are borrowing direct quotes, make sure to put quotation marks around them so that you remember that those words are not your words, but your source's words. And most of the time when I see plagiarism in student writing, it's because it happens during this note-taking phase when students forget what was their idea versus their source's idea. And then lastly, keep track of where each idea comes from, because plagiarism isn't just about taking someone else's words and using them as your own. It's also about taking others' ideas and not giving them credit. So good note-taking will prevent you from accidentally plagiarizing. And one last note I want to give on sources before I show you a good template to use for note-taking is that realize you may end up with twice as many notes or even sources as what you will end up using or needing in your research paper. And that is perfectly acceptable. That is not a waste of time. You're not doing too much work. That is showing that you're doing a good amount of research and are going in depth, and it shows that you understand your topic. If you were to use every single note in your paper, I would probably say that you did not do anywhere near enough research to make sure that you've given it the breadth and depth to prove that you know what you're talking about. So a couple other sources that may help you with note-taking, if you go to our writing process page, which you can access on the left-hand column, scroll down, and there are 2 files. One is how to read a scientific article, and it will walk you through the different parts of the article and what to read. But the one I really want you to focus on is the note-taking template. So this template will guide you through reading any source. The first thing you want to do is give the complete bibliographic citation information, and you can find resources to help you with that by going to the APA formatting and citations page on our course page. And then the next thing you'll do, and the first thing when reading a source, is give the one important idea that relates to your thesis that you found in the source. So think of a big picture idea, like the abstract idea or the theory in the source that, excuse me, that helps you answer your thesis. Next, think of providing 2 details from the source that will help explain this big picture idea or that will relate to your thesis. Maybe these are statistics information from a survey, testimonials, even direct quotes that you want to use. Anything like that should go here. And then lastly, explain how the above details that you wrote here prove your thesis, or how do they relate to your thesis. So especially think of, how do those details maybe help you answer this question because you want to find out blank, or how do they relate to your significance? How are they going to help your readers understand something important? So overall, those are some tips to help get you started with the research and taking notes.